Did Volkswagen mess up and make an Audi that's better than Porsche? I mean, the Macan S, I get it, it's getting discontinued, but this gets the same 0 to 60 numbers as that. And it's an Audi. It's no wonder this is a top seller. I mean, you're getting a huge bang for your buck when you're considering all the luxury that's in the interior, as well as all the performance. But what's the catch? I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and Audi Clearwater has given us this 2026 Audi SQ5 Sportback in glacier white over black interior. What's the catch? Well, we're going to dissect that. It's going to start off with the digital LED headlights and daytime runnings with the signature lighting that Audi does for the welcoming and the goodbye. That's going to sit just behind that single frame grille, and it's more sleek than the prior generation. So I like that they've done that because they've pushed out the single frame grille, giving more of a dominant stance. This illuminates, because we've ticked the box to it. Not a huge fan of all the plastic in the satin aluminum. Wish that they put the glossy black around it. You can let me know your take on that. The satin aluminum comes into the air pocket, and then the lower is going to get the matte black for the garnish. 8.2 inches of clearance. This is literally better than a Porsche Macan in the sense of pricing. And I can only imagine that they did this because they got rid of the Porsche Macan. House underneath the hood is a 3-liter TFSI turbocharged V6 producing 362 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch automatic transmission with Quattro or your all-wheel drive. The engine configuration is longitudinal. This engine mounting helps with the performance and the handling. Reaching 60 at 4.6 seconds with the top speed at 130 with all summer tires, maxing to 155 miles per hour. Now that's up 13 horsepower, 37 pound-feet of torque with a reworked 48-volt mild hybrid system. So you're getting more performance, but you still get the auto start stop, so don't get so excited yet. We have the 21-inch wheel package, 5-arm split design wheels, bicolor finish with the summer tires. The red brake calipers are housing a single floating caliper in the front and the rear with a 14.2-inch disc for the front, or 360 millimeters. That's vented. That's nearly an inch larger than the Q5. The rear is at 13 inches or 330 millimeters, which is the same exact size. 5-link independent with sport adaptive air suspension. In competition, like BMW and Mercedes, weight distribution is always going to be a little bit better on BMW. And no, I'm not a BMW fanboy. I'm just saying what it is. On paper, they're just a little bit better with their dynamics. The configuration here is a longitudinal engine, which will help with the front to rear in the weight distribution, but the Quattro all-wheel drive system that's standard, it's one of the heaviest in the business. So even Mercedes is going to handle just a touch better than this. That being said, standard air suspension, every day is ticked. When you start going into competition, you do have to tick the boxes to features. Here you just go into 3 different trims. And the rear was a huge improvement back for 2025 and a half. We have the LED tail lights with the dynamic turn signals and the animated feature, which is signature to Audi. More sleek lighting. The lower is not as chunky either. It looks more performance oriented with the quad exhaust tips that's exposed. You get the grille pattern in between the satin aluminum. Front and rear parking sensors, more or less a diffuser. Top view camera, because this is the Premium Plus. So what's the catch with the SQ5 Sportback? You get the styling, you get the luxury that you're going to see in the interior, and you get the performance. Like I said before, they discontinued the Porsche Macan, which was a sweet spot SUV. So naturally, you can increase the price just a little bit here. You'll still get a huge savings, but you're getting a better value in a better SUV. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe, click the like. All these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles like this to the channel. The way they have designed this vehicle is pretty unique. The engine is longitudinal, so it's actually kind of helping with the front and rear in the sense of the weight distribution. You have a standard Quattro system, which is a little bit heavier than most of the competition. We got to be fair with this. You have a twin scroll turbocharged engine, which is a single turbo, but you have 2 scrolls in it. So it actually spools up a little bit quicker than just a single scroll. Plus it's embedded in the middle of the V, which is the hottest part of the engine. And it's paired to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. This should be a fun vehicle. and it is. Maneuverability, it's good. Day in and day out, that's what you're gonna get with this. Fun and an everyday vehicle. Not large enough for a big family, obviously, because this is a Sportback, but if you have 3 or 4, I mean, it's doable. You may have to graduate and go up into like a Q8, but there's nothing wrong with that. The Q8 is an amazing vehicle. It doesn't feel wide and it doesn't feel long. It actually feels very sleek, and it makes me want to push the gas pedal a little bit more, just the way the whole interior design is. And usually, I mean, you know, I'm not a huge fan of these TV screens, but they have it so circular that it feels like a little race car, and it's comfortable, which is really hard to pair when you're getting these type of vehicles. Because typically when you get something that has more performance than the prior gen, it actually has more performance than a Porsche Macan S, and it's less money. Usually it's gonna be a more firm suspension. Air suspension, you don't feel hardly anything. We got upgraded 21-inch wheels, and it still feels comfortable. The seat cushion is good. Manual cushion extensions, they did a great job there for us tall people. My knees are not sitting up in the air. Elbows feel good against the Dinamica. Not a huge fan of the Dinamica. On certain areas it's fine, but putting it where you're gonna rest your arms, I mean, it's gonna get dirty quick. But look what I mean about the performance. So now the performance is ticked, the brakes are good, the drive is good. What the heck is the catch with this SQ5? Why is it so good? What did Volkswagen think when they were coming out with this new SQ5 2025? I just think that they finally decided to make a vehicle that people wanted. I mean, I love performance vehicles, but I also like a smooth ride, and SUVs usually tick the box because it sits up higher, so it's easier for me to get in and out. With this air suspension, it also alters depending on your driving modes that you dial into. The steering doesn't tighten up, but I'm all right with that. It does still have plastic aesthetics, and the glossy black is everywhere, but you know, I'll deal with it. I absolutely dislike on the passenger side the plastic box though. That needs to go away, and they need to just put a damn dash. But if I go into the Prestige, I get a TV screen there too, so everybody can kind of play with TVs. I would like to hear the exhaust just a little bit more filtering inwards, because it already filters through the speakers as it is, and I don't hardly hear it at all. Getting up onto the interstate, more than enough performance. And as you drive up to a higher speed, the sound deadening still stays quiet. The ride comfort is good still. It's just easy to navigate with something like this, and with the dual clutch automatic transmission, I think that it just really makes the ride a lot more fun and pleasurable. Yeah, at the beginning, if you're not familiar with a dual clutch transmission, you might feel some jerks here and there, but overall, I mean, it's a fun vehicle. It literally packs everything in one package, and it's still somewhat family oriented. Audi did a good job with this new generation. BMW, Mercedes, they do need to up their game a little bit, because with BMW, they're going really hardcore with plastic, but they do such a good job with dynamics. Mercedes, they do such a good job with the comfort. They also add a lot of plastics. So it's really like pick your poison these days, and when you're getting everything more or less in one, and you got your TV screen on wheels, I think this is going to get outdated. But for 2027, we might finally get physical controls instead of these touchpads. So Volkswagen, Audi, they're actually listening to us and making a vehicle, and that's what the catch is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.